Hi everyone, my name is Alicia and I'm going to do a speech to you today about strokes. The National Stroke Foundation told a story about Maureen Blush-John, a 39-year-old mother of two. She was at home with her children one day. She received a call from her husband. She was unable to push the buttons on the phone, so her son had to help her out. While speaking with her husband on the phone, he was unable to understand what he was saying. He literally asked her, "Why are you talking funny?" Now, she had no idea what he was talking about, so she gave the phone to her son, who relayed messages between her husband and her son and herself, and had to do the FAST method to see if she was having a stroke. When she failed the test, her husband said, "Honey, you are having a stroke. I will be there in 5 minutes." 5 minutes later, he was at the house, and within half an hour, they were at the hospital. 2 years later, she has fully recovered from her stroke and travels around the world to inform people of the FAST method. The CDC says that 130,000 Americans die every year as a result from having a stroke. Now, what if I told you that 80% of strokes are preventable? If everyone took the proper precautions and steps to make sure that their risk factors are under control, stroke-related deaths would be far and few between. A stroke happens when blood flow to part of the brain is stopped. The American Stroke Association says that if blood flow is stopped for more than a few seconds, blood and oxygen can't get to the brain, and the brain cells begin to die, can cause permanent damage. The stroke is the third leading cause of deaths of Americans, and the most leading cause of serious long-term disability in adults. The chance of having a stroke approximately doubles for every decade after the age of 55. While strokes is common in the elderly, people under the age of 65 can also have strokes. There are two kinds of strokes. One is the ischemic and the other one is the hemorrhagic. The ischemic is when a blood clot blocks or plugs the blood vessel. It accounts for about 80% of all strokes. The hemorrhagic is when the blood vessel in the brain ruptures and blood flows into the brain. This accounts for about 20% of all strokes. Each year, when more women have a stroke than men, and stroke kills more women than men. Use of birth control pills, pregnancy, history of preeclampsia, and smoking are all contribute to women being special stroke risk for women. Since I told you that 80% of strokes are preventable, managing the risk factors must be taken into consideration. Those risk factors include high blood pressure. Make sure you take your high blood pressure pills on time. Make sure you calculate your numbers, tell your doctors of any irregularities. Cigarette smoking is a risk factor, so you got to try to quit smoking. Atrial fibrillation, make sure you take your meds on time and inform your doctor of any changes. And physical inactivity, get out there and walk. Your doctor can refer you to nutritionalists and dietitianists that can help you get a workout plan and a diet that'll work for you. More than half of all strokes is related from uncontrolled high blood pressure, making it the most important risk factor to control. There are disabilities that can happen as a result of having a stroke. Although strokes is a disease of the brain, it can affect the entire body. Those effects range from mild to severe, and they are paralysis, problems with thinking and speaking, and may cause pain and numbness after the stroke. 25% of all stroke victims require minor impairments, or have minor impairments. Recover with that. 40% of all stroke victims experience moderate to severe impairments and require special care. And 10% of all people requiring care in a nursing facility or other long-term care facility following a stroke. Lifestyle changes can help you recover from a stroke and prevent you from having another one. And your stroke may be greater if a grandparent, parent, brother, or sister has had a stroke. The American Stroke Association says there is a test you can do that's called the FAST method. I have papers here to get around that says what they are. You pass those around. And it stands for FAST, F-A-S-T, F. Have the person smile. If one side of their face is drooped, or it's sagging, or numb, they could be having a stroke. Arm, for A. Have the person put their arms out in front of them. If one is drooping downward more than the other one, or if one is numb, that could be signs of stroke. Speech. Have the person recite a simple sentences. The sky is blue. Is their speech slurred, and can you understand what they're saying? And finally, time, for T. Even if the person showed any of those signs, even if they went away, call 911 and get that person to the hospital. Make sure you record the time when the onset of the symptoms first occurred so you can relay that to their doctors. Getting medical attention within the first 60 minutes of a stroke can prevent disabilities. And taking all of the knowledge that I have given you today, we can identify the dangers and symptoms of strokes and can take the precautions in the future that if you or someone you love has fallen prey to the signs and symptoms of a stroke, proper precautions can be taken, just like Maureen and her family have done. Thank you.
Yay, good job.